Johnson, are you?
I don't see Anna or Courtney yet from PATH.
Okay. And what about Scan?
Hi, everyone. I'm here.
Good, good. Okay, well, welcome this morning to our July meeting of the Senior Working Group of the South Bay Cities Council of Governments. My name is Britt Huff. I'm the chair and also Mayor Pro Tem of the City of Rolling Hills Estates, one of the 15 South Bay cities that is a member here of the COG. And so welcome. I want to introduce a couple of people. We have Jackie Backrack, our Executive Director of the South Bay COG, and our two fabulous staff people, Lori Jacobs and Ronson Shoes. So just wave, I guess. And then we also have, let's see, we have Bill Uphuff from City Council of Lomita. And welcome, Olivia. Fine.
Thank you.
Good
morning.
Hawthorne. So I'm trying to get rid of this little favorites thing on the side of my thing here. But anyway, so we have a number of really good presentations this morning. And after we do that, we're going to have a chance to do sort of a round robin introductions of people attending and maybe telling a little bit about their organization or their city, what's going on in their city. So why don't we, I think Aiko Tan, is she here this morning?
Good morning. Aiko's not able to attend, but I'm here to represent SCAN for her.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, well, let me have you introduce yourself and we'll let you give us a little overview of what's happening over there.
Sure. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jacqueline Soriano. I'm the supervisor for homeless services, a new program with Independence at Home, which is the community benefits side of SCAN. If it's okay, Britt, I can share my screen.
Sure.
Okay. I just have a couple slides. I won't take up too much time. And I will share the slides with Lori and Ronson to share with everyone else today later. Give me 1 minute. Let me get this signed up. All righty. Let's see. There we go. So Independence at Home is the community-based side of SCAN. We started out 45 years ago. And the way SCAN started was 12 seniors that didn't like the fact that they couldn't find services and for older adults. So they initiated SCAN, which used to be called Senior Care Action Network, and eventually became SCAN Health Plan. Now with SCAN Health Plan, we still needed to keep, they still wanted to keep our community benefits service division. So that's where Independence at Home started. So originally SCAN was Independence at Home. And we really just worked to service the community at large, all seniors, caregivers of seniors that are 55 plus. Our goal is to service those that are non-SCAN members. We are considered a community-based project. And we build and service our clients that are, we customize the services to the client's needs that are in their homes, or if they're experiencing homelessness, we cover a wide range of them. So we're there to keep them independent. We're there to keep them at home. And we believe in delivering education, resources, support to those care managers, support to care providers or other in clients themselves. We get a lot of self-referrals as well. We have this process where it's one call does it all kind of thing. You start with calling our referral line, giving the information, whether it's the client themselves or a care manager or a service provider that's working with them, saying what's the need, and we then identify and which program the client would fit into. Who we are at SCAN or Independence at Home is a mix of different type of service providers. We have gerontologists, health educators, case managers, social workers. We have pharmacists, nurses, therapists, and different programs that we offer. So a little bit about the programs. Our program availability is limited based off the county. We do cover most of LA County for all of our programs. We do spread out into Orange County, Riverside, and San Bernardino. We offer community education health screenings. We have virtual senior center. Because of COVID, a lot of things did go virtual. One of the newest things with our virtual senior center is that we have a digital coach that can come out and train individuals on how to use the computer, how to hook up to a Zoom, how to navigate just a computer in general if they're looking for resources and things like that. So we have an option, and that's free of cost to all the members that are looking for services. We have Insights, which is our short-term behavioral health program. They offer 6 to 15 sessions on a short-term basis for mild to very low moderate type care or diagnoses. So it's more like anxiety, depression, not schizophrenia, not dementia, things that are needing a little more hands-on and continued support. We do work with the lesser of those options. We have our CMEDS program, which is a program where we identify an older adult that has 20 medications because they're seeing 5 different doctors and there's actually overlap. Our CMEDS team will come in and review the medications, work with the client and the doctors, make
It's
sure that
not
they're
good
not
for a group,
overlapping.
showing it should.
Sorry. And then we have our MSSP, which is a long-term case management program. It is very selected by zip code, and I believe most of South Bay is serviced by SCAN in the MSSP. They do have to have Medi-Cal, and then at the end, when I share the slides, there'll be more at the end of that. So how our program started is we really looked at what the clients need or what are the service providers needing. Do you need help with getting your client housing inspection ready, right? They're due further inspection and they have an issue with cleaning or maintenance. We can have a crew come in from homeless services and partner with you to coordinate a group to come out to do a one-time deep cleaning. Or is the client having mild to moderate depression? We can set them up with therapy services. So these were just a few questions that we were looking at. One of the other ones that we have that's popular is DME, right? What can we do to help the client stay home, stay safe? And providing them grab bars or getting a group to come in and install grab bars so that they can be safe in their restrooms or, getting out of bed and things like that. CMEDS, again, CMEDS is our program where we do medication safety, improving outcomes, reducing medication relation problems, because a lot of the times doctors don't know what other doctors are prescribing because the client didn't give the medication list. So they've started them on the same medication. It's doubling on the clients. Our team will be there to be able to help train, teach, know the side effects, understand. There is a time also a little bit of funding in this program where they're able to pay for some of that out-of-pocket cost if there is a copay for some of that medication. This team can come in and help with that. Insights, again, is our behavioral health program. They do very much CBT and IPT type of therapy. It is mostly done virtually currently. In a very special case, they'll do an in-person, but because of COVID, they are holding a lot of our sessions in via Zoom or via telephone. So again, they offer CBT, IPT type of services for them, grief, loss, behavioral activations and things like that, problem solving. A little bit more, I wanted to kind of go into the scope of service. They do cover everything that's in the green. So again, caregiving, stress, anxiety, some mild to moderate depression, not moderate to severe, role transitions, a loss of a loved one, they're now becoming older adults. They're no longer just a caregiver, and grief and loss. Again, community health promotions is is our virtual senior centers. They have multiple services, workshops. If you have a client that just needs, you know, someone to hang out with for an hour on Zoom, this is a great option. So homeless services, this is the program that I oversee. Again, we wanted to stick to our roots when we created our program. So SCAN deployed 3 different areas where they cover their SCAN members, which is through the health plan. It is 65 plus disabled Medicare clients. And then they do have their own homeless services program. So if you do have a client that's a SCAN member, they do just need to reach out to member services and they have a SCAN option. Independence at home, again, we are 55 plus LA County. We provide all the gap care service. We're kind of that too good to be true kind of service. We are no cost at all to any of your services or any to your clients or to you yourselves as providers. So we don't charge anything. We are funded by SCAN for their community benefit side, and we service non-SCAN members only. So that's one thing I want to make clear. We can't service a SCAN member because they are services being offered to them through their insurance plan, but we can service anyone outside of there. And then Healthcare in Action was the third one, which is a street mobile medical team that goes out in the field to work with those that are experiencing homelessness on the street. Currently, they service Long Beach and the Hollywood area. Again, I'll share the slides. I just wanted to, we work on, getting the clients connected to their CES coordination. We'll help them get into HMIS if needed, but we're there to really partner with the care provider that's already there using a care plan. We're there to help navigate through that care plan. A lot of the times the clients we work with can only focus on feeding their cats or their pets, but their housing safety is at risk. So we can come in to help you guys continue to focus on the housing while we'll kind of address some of the smaller issues. Let's get you resources for your pets. Let's get you resources to get you a grab bar, lots of other things. Let's bring in a resource to help you clean so you can pass your inspection. There's a little bit of all of that. In Independence at Home, we have what we call a no wrong door approach. All clients' referrals will be assessed for other internal services that might qualify. Again, if we get a client through homeless services that's a housing at risk, but is dealing with grief as well, we'll refer them to Insights. Again, medications, or if they're living on the streets and they are in the Long Beach area and haven't seen a doctor, we'll reach out to our HIA partnership and have them do an outreach and medical service them. Any questions? And then this is my contact information, which I'll also put in the chat.
Well, thank you, Jacqueline. Wow, that's pretty amazing services provided there. Questions from anybody?
Yes,
Yes,
Yeah,
I have a
Olivia.
question. My hand is
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, Jess?
yes. I've heard a lot about SCAN. A lot of my members for South Bay Village use SCAN, but I never asked the question, what are we talking about for cost?
So if they are a SCAN member, they have to go through SCAN health plan for the services. For Independence at Home, if they're non-SCAN members, this is a no cost to them. Also, we are not the insurance agency. We are not SCAN health plan technically. So we're not going to come in and tell your members to change their insurance to SCAN. We're not there to sell SCAN. We're there to just provide the service for free.
So, but Independence is free to people?
Independence is free to those that are non-SCAN. Yes.
Oh,
So if you have
okay.
members that are non-SCAN that need a little help, we can come in and partner.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Olivia?
Yes, thank you. I really enjoyed the presentation. I think it's very comprehensive, and I think it would benefit a lot of our seniors. So my question about the Independence at Home component is, how does one become, or how is this promoted to our citizens in the cities? What do we do? And how you're talking about members, non-members. If we wanted to institute it in our city, how would we go about doing that?
Yeah, I can definitely gather your information, Olivia, and reach out with you and my director on bigger marketing in that aspect to get us out there. We are very new. The homeless services and independence at home, they had, because of COVID, had to really stop marketing our services. So we're back in the field now trying to get the word out. Presentations like this, if there's groups you need us to present to about our services, is our biggest front right now. You guys are our marketers as well, because you can then put a word out to all your development locations or properties and things like that. But Olivia, I'd love to connect offline to talk about, how can we get our services into your city.
And can you put your number back on?
Yeah, I'll
you.
definitely drop my contact info after into the chat. Lori?
Yeah, I'd like to connect with you also for South
Sure.
Bay Village.
Of course. Yeah. Lori?
Yeah, I direct and oversee some outreach teams all throughout Service Planning Area 8,
Okay.
including Long Beach, and have worked really closely with your Healthcare and Action team in the Long Beach area with Benjamin Casca.
Oh, good.
He informed us recently that they were looking to expand, not just Hollywood and Long Beach, and that they were going to be looking towards more of Service Planning Area 8. Has that changed? I know you're with Long Beach. I was concerned.
I haven't heard anything on Scan Health Plan. Independence at Home, again, it depends on the program. There is looks to expand to different counties, but I know we cover right now most of LA.
I was talking specifically about the street medicine team, the health.
Oh yeah, I'm not sure what we're not sure what their full expansion plans. I know they are expanding into more spas as well. Yeah.
Do you mean LA City or LA County?
We cover all of LA County, so that includes LA City.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Rosalie. Yeah, thank you.
Hi, good morning. I'm from Beach Cities Health District, and you said something about deep cleaning, and I know we're always looking for referrals for that service. Can you tell me a little bit more about, I didn't hear what the eligibility was.
So again, eligibility is your client just needs to be 55 plus. They need to be either for that specific service, it's part of our homeless services project, our side. They do have to be either at risk, previously homeless, or experiencing homeless. So most of the time it falls under the category of at risk due to the fact that they might not pass housing inspection. Our team will come in and coordinate a cleaning crew technically to come in at no cost to you or the client to help prepare for that inspection. It is all based off of the number of hours that are needed to help to get the client cleaned out. And then from there, we can help discuss, long-term care for that. It's not just a one-time. We can help process the IHSS application, get them some interim housing cleaning in place before IHSS is in place. But we have resources that can come in and help with that.
That's awesome. And that's in all of LA County, or is that only
all of LA?
Okay,
yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Jacqueline. This is Lori. For some reason, my raise hand function's not working today.
It's okay. Hi, Lori.
Here, there's my hand.
No, yeah.
Thank you for this great information. One question I had, you talked about offering some computer training and computer assistance. And so I manage a home sharing program, which is strictly online. And we're really trying to focus on seniors. So the lack of computer skills has been quite a barrier. So that might be something. So I know you said you train them, you get them set up, you can assist them all the way through the process and getting them set up on home sharing.
So yeah, we have what we call, it's a new program. It's called Senior Cyber Center, or Senior Cyber, or Cyber Seniors, sorry. And the staff member will come out and do, if it's in a home, she can do a group training, set up and teach them all how to navigate their iPads, their tablets, the computers they're using. But they get them set up so that they're able to at least log into a Zoom training or a Zoom session, teach them how to use Zoom, teach them how to use Outlook and emails and things like that. And it is all free. Again, all the services I am mentioning are free and no cost to your members or to your clients.
And what age do they need to be?
The only requirement for most of our programs is 55 plus.
55. Okay.
And they can be the caregivers. One of our biggest things is we do provide caregiver support. They just have to be caring for someone 55 plus.
Okay, this is great. Well, I'll follow up with you offline on this. Thank you.
Yeah. Olivia.
Well, so Jacqueline, may I ask, so the source of the funding for all these free services, is that the County of Los Angeles?
No, we're funded by SCAN technically. We're their community benefit side. So to keep them a nonprofit, they they provide us funding to provide to the community at large. That's
how
the
do you-
easier way of.
And
Dang
how
it.
do you check to see if someone is at risk or homeless? They have to do some documentation on that?
We're pretty good about just, taking the word for it. If they are at risk, we know a lot of the times when it comes to at risk, it can mean many different things, right? Again, the housing inspection piece, I can't pay for my rent. I'm at risk for homelessness, and we want to prevent that with our seniors and our older adults.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Olivia also had a question.
I just had one quick question, and that is, so there is no income component? You don't check to see?
We don't check income. We will check eligibility based off your insurance to make sure you're not a SCAN member.
I
If
see.
that's the only thing we'll check, but there is no income requirement.
And you're not limited to any numbers of people that you can take in?
So it all just depends on caseload availability. Homeless services right now has about a 1 to 2 week wait list, but that's pretty quick. We're hiring additional care managers so we can expand the number of individuals we're servicing. Right now we have about 90 that we're servicing throughout the 3 case managers that I have in homeless services. Every other program, it just depends on what their caseloads look like, but there is not really a max out.
I'm particularly interested in your independence at home component because we have so many seniors in our community, and I know they're older seniors, they live in their homes, and many of them are living alone. So I know they need all sorts of services. So I'm very interested in.
Yeah, our MSSP program, which I'll share in the slides later, I'll share with you in the slides. MSSP is long-term case management coverage. They do have to have Medi-Cal. And they have to have, I believe, at least 2 ADLs that they're not able to complete and 1 IADL that they can't complete on their own. And that can be as easy as they can't get out of bed by themselves. Somebody has to help them. And that is a 6 to 5 year or 6 to 10 year program for the clients that are living at home. They do have to have a stable address, and Medi-Cal is the biggest thing, and the 2 ADLs, IDLs. And I can definitely, and I know most of you guys are in the South Bay, Long Beach area. Ronson, I can share this information and have our MSSP expert come out and present to you all how that program works, because I think it would benefit your independently housed clients.
And what does MSSP stand for?
It's called Multi-Purpose Senior Services Program. It's a state-funded program.
Okay. Multi-purpose senior services
Program, yeah.
And that is funded through the state.
That one is state funded, yes.
Mhm.
They do have to be 65 plus for that program, though. It's the only program where it's not 55, it's 65. There will be a couple slides that when I share the slide deck, they'll be at the very end after the appendix, but it has some information. And it might benefit for Raina, who oversees the program, to present to you guys about more in detail about that program.
But Independence at Home and MSSP are separate programs, is that right?
They're separate programs. We're all under one branch. We're all under Independence at Home.
So if a person signed up
and they qualify, we would get them into that program. Yeah.
Into what program?
MSSP.
Well,
or if they signed up for any of our Independence at Home programs, so there's different programs within us, we'll always refer them to the appropriate programs.
Okay, I guess my concern is if you're dealing with an older senior, say someone in their 90s, they're not going to know what program to sign up for. So it's confusing when I listen to you talk about it. I'm saying, uh-oh, I see a red flag right there, because you tell a senior signs up, maybe they need some computer help. They don't necessarily know what program to sign up for. So how do you do that? Do you automatically put them in an MSSP if they're over 65, or
if they qualify, our team will help navigate that for them and get them that connection to long care
program for over 65?
I agree with Olivia. I am not 90, and yet I'm confused.
And that's what our care navigators are there for, to help navigate a lot of that piece for you all, and that individual themselves, you know, really explaining it in depth. I didn't want to really take up all the time for today's presentation because I know you guys have a lot to cover. I will definitely drop my information into the chat, and anyone has any more questions, wants a little more one-on-one time with me to talk over the different programs, I'd love to set up that time. Marianne, I know you have a question and I want to take that as the last one.
Yeah, just real quick, it seems like it'd be helpful to have a presentation on the SCAN health plan too, because I'm trying to figure out, like, if someone's Medicare eligible, I know SCAN offers a lot of kind of a social service component to the health plan, rides to the doctors and things like that. And it seems like we should be educated on what SCAN offers too, so we can understand the whole picture here. It seems like a lot of what you offer is great, and you'd encourage people if they weren't Medicare eligible, but if they were, they might want to consider that health plan too, right?
Well, that's a good idea, Marianne, because we maybe could even just do a whole program on different HMOs. In other words, there are many different health insurances that offer, you know, through their HMO program, this kind of thing. So that might be, you know, a day's program in itself to kind of.
Yeah, I mean, and SCAN is very unique in what they offer. I mean, different from any other health plan out there, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Right.
Again, I will drop my, yeah, again, we're not here to sway anyone into selecting SCAN. We're actually separate from SCAN. Our staff we're SCAN employed, but we're not SCAN staff, if that makes any sense. We're their community-based side. So we're here to really service the community at large. So we'll help make those connections.
She's absolutely right, because a lot of insurance companies like Medicare, Medi-Cal, they're not there to push their product. You have to make the call and ask questions. So she's absolutely right.
Yeah,
Well,
I just think it behoove us, though, to understand a little bit more about SCAN, because I have a member who's probably going to be joining the village on SCAN, and she's mentioned some of the benefits that it offers that I wasn't fully aware of, although I'm really familiar with Medicare HMOs. So just to keep on top of it would be helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and I assume also, Jacqueline, that if people have any kind of health insurance, they would not qualify for the independence at home. Is that correct?
No, so it's actually the opposite. If
Oh.
it doesn't matter what their insurance is, the only verification we'll do is that they're not a SCAN member. We're not allowed to service SCAN members. So we have to refer them back to member services for services.
Since they have similar types of things available.
Exactly. Exactly, through SCAN itself. But we'll service somebody that has LA Care and HealthNet or Anthem Blue Cross. It doesn't matter to us, the insurance agency. We'll go back to that. We'll help advocate for the client if there's a service that their insurance agency should be working with them on. So it all just depends on what they have. Yeah.
And so your case managers really do help each person as they contact you to decide which of your many programs they might qualify for, and which would be appropriate.
Yep. And we'll also refer them to external agencies if needed.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, great. This has been very good. Any last questions? Otherwise, we do have kind of a packed schedule.
I think I see Bay's hand is up.
Oh.
Yes, I just wanted to share with you, we have referred people to Independence at Home from Focal Point, which is our referral service. And indeed, they take the call, they ask the questions, they do all the care managing to address what is the best program for them. And so, Olivia, you don't have to worry about it because they take it into their hands professionally and, secure as many information on the client and refer them. And we've been very pleased with our referrals.
Oh, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Well, thanks, B. That's a great recommendation. So Thank you so much, Jacqueline. We appreciate your joining us. Okay, well, let's see. I will turn to Ronson to introduce our next person for, do we have the senior care group here?
No, I don't see him on yet. Yeah, I've been trying to reach the bill. So maybe we skip him for now as I try to reach him. And
Okay.
then go to Pat and,
I'll go
and Carol.
Carol Kibayaya. I'm gonna try this again. Kitabayashi. Carol.
No, Brett, I think Bronson was saying we're going to go back to PATH because Anna from PATH is here.
Oh, okay. That sounds good. Sorry, Carol. We'll come back to you.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I am Anna. I'm the program manager for Spa AIDS Outreach Team at PATH. Courtney is in jury duty, so I'll just leave it today.
Oh.
Have some exciting news, or hopefully, we have one issuance for one of our seniors today, so a voucher issuance. Her appointment was actually at 10 a.m., so she's probably right there signing her issuance. For the caseloads part, we have a total of 19 individuals who are seniors on our caseloads. We have 3 in shelters. We have 7 still waiting for a voucher match. There has been a change in regards to vouchers. All the LACTA and HACA vouchers are on hold. So hopefully the city vouchers still come through. We were able to get one individual into recuperative care. She was experiencing very high health concerns, and she is now safe and sound in a recuperative care as of 2 weeks ago. She was sleeping in her car for over 15 years, so this is a great news for all of us. And so, yeah, that was our update. We're still working on trying to get most of the individuals either into shelters. They're really reluctant because of the sharing of space and COVID, how the numbers are going up. So that's a little scary for them. We're still trying to navigate the housing, the affordable housing options that we have. It's a very limited option at the moment, especially for seniors with low income or set incomes as well. So that's a little struggle that we've been facing throughout I wouldn't say throughout the LA County area. But we're still trying to navigate it, trying to think outside the box and trying to find our best solutions for our seniors.
Wonderful. So can you give us a little insight into how some of these people come into your program?
So we either get referrals, direct referrals from cities through LA Hops, or we meet them directly in encampments on the streets. When we interact with them, we kind of get like a little story about where they come from, what led them to become homeless. Once we get that built report, we ask them, or we offer our services, and if they are, I guess, open to working with us, then we go ahead into the intake process and continue the house navigation and getting them housing ready.
Thank you. Any questions? Well, thank you so much for being here and for stepping in for Courtney during jury duty. Glad she's stepping up and doing that. And we will look forward to hearing from you at our next meeting in September. Thanks so much. Thanks. Okay. All right. Let's go to Carol Kitabayashi. And she is with the Westside Pacific Village and gives us an update every once in a while on how the village is operating there. Welcome, Carol.
Thank you. Is it possible for me to share my screen?
Sure.
Okay, and let me see if this works. Are people seeing that?
Yeah, well, it's coming in.
Okay, yeah. Thumbs up.
There it is. Yeah, we see it.
So thank you very much. Yeah, it's been a little while. I see some familiar faces out there from the COG. And then also I know that there are a couple other villages represented here today. So I'm Carol Kitabayashi, and I'm actually the former executive director. I retired the end of last year. And yeah, and with me today is our new executive director, Marcia Salvary. So her face, we'll make sure you guys get to see who she is. I'm going to go ahead and do this presentation though, because she's literally like week 2, 3, or 4 on the job. With that, thank you for the opportunity to just tell you guys what we've been up to. As I said, I noticed we've got South Bay Village here, Palos Verdes Peninsula Village here. So many of you are probably already familiar with the village model and the village movement. Our mission, just as a refresher, is to really help older adults age in place by providing a wide array of services and programs to help them maintain their independence. We are membership driven. And so it really is creating a community that is really led by older adults so that we meet the needs of their community. And we provide very important connections for social as well as wellness and educational, etc. As I said, we're part of a movement. So there is an organization called Village Movement California, which is a coalition of villages for the state of California. And I know the other villages present here are part of that. There also is a national network. So there are villages across the country. And these, again, are just very basic things in terms of what most villages aim to do. A lot of us provide transportation services. We touched on technology support. And in fact, I think that maybe we would be a great referral source for the program that SCAN just offered in terms of letting our people know about what's available to them through SCAN, as well as through a village. So these are the types of things villages do. And they're usually, again, geographically, it's a community-based type of network. This is just a little piece about Village Movement California. And then as far as WPV, Westside Pacific Villages, we got started in the Westchester Playa del Rey area and slowly started to expand out from there. And the reason that we wanted to join your group today is because we have made the decision, we actually did this last year, to start to expand into adjacent communities around us, specifically into Inglewood and Hawthorne. Before the pandemic, we provided a wide array of services, as I mentioned. These are the types of things we were doing. Most villages charge an annual membership fee in order to be part of the program. And at that time, we were charging $700 a year. And so during the pandemic, when it hit, if you think back to that time 2 years ago, the most vulnerable was the older adult population. And we made the decision to waive our membership fees. We offered a free program. And actually the types of help that older adults needed who were forced to shelter at home were exactly what a village offered. And so we were able to do the delivery of groceries, especially for seniors who don't know how to order groceries online and have them delivered to them. They could pick up the phone and call our office, and we would deploy a volunteer to go pick up the groceries and safely deliver it to them. We had already had a telephone support program in place, and so we were able to quickly adjust and provide a weekly support phone call to check in with our clients, to make sure that they were doing okay, see if they needed anything, pick up prescriptions, things like that. And so we ran this free program for about 18 months. So it actually ended in the end of September of last year. And what we learned through this process is that we, as horrible as it was, it really did shine a light on the needs of older adults, especially older adults who want to continue to age in their home. And so coming out of the pandemic, we decided to the other thing we started to do was virtual events. So instead of in-person events, We obviously provided training to folks who needed to learn how to set up Zoom and whatnot. And we started to create virtual events for people to participate in. Oh, and the other thing, I'm sorry, the other thing that we did during the pandemic was we did a weekly care package. And again, this was all through funding and donations. We got, again, because of the pandemic, it really shone a light on the needs. And we were actually able to not only recruit a lot of new volunteers to our organization, but also we got funding and donations. So we created a weekly care package program. And every week we were delivering these special packages to our clients' home. Sometimes it would be a meal, sometimes it would be flowers. We worked with children and like the Girl Scout troops in the community. They made handmade cards, we made gifts, and Thanksgiving, we actually delivered on Thanksgiving Day a Thanksgiving meal. So these weekly care packages also became a way for these older adults who are stuck at home to have a visit, you know, and we did it socially distant, people were masked. And so they really looked forward to every week seeing someone come by and bring them this special package. And our volunteers loved it too. So when we transitioned out of the free program, we decided we need to keep doing this. So we have a new element to our program, which is a monthly care package. So once a month, a client membership includes one of these care packages. And so again, usually it includes a meal. We usually like to do themes. So around the 4th of July, you know, we try to keep those things in mind. We'll do something special for Halloween, that type of thing. And so this has become a part of our regular programming. And as I said, as you know, during the pandemic, we all experienced what social isolation and loneliness felt like. And I'm preaching to the choir here, but you all know that this is a health impact to older adults who are often living alone and are invisible to the community. So the more we can do to reach out and support older adults who want to continue to age in their home and provide them those important connections and ways to get out if they choose to do that, you know, that is something we strive to do, and the other villages here do the same. So when we came out of the pandemic, so this all happened effective October 1st of 2021, we transitioned back, if you will, to providing a lot of we slowly started to do more transportation services. We continue to do errands and pick up and delivery of things, light chores around the house, things like that. But we decided that we are going to significantly reduce our membership fees. So we went from a $700 annual fee to a $250 annual fee. We also learned that sometimes people, and before this, we didn't really do a monthly type of payment. So we wanted people to really join in and stay involved for a full year and hopefully renew after year. But we learned that, you know what, some people really could benefit from our services. They join for a few months and then maybe they do want to join for a full year. So we also have the option for folks to pay on a monthly basis. So that was also new. It is a little bit more. So it's $25 per month or $250 per year. And then we also implemented a new sliding scale program. And in particular, we wanted to be sure that we could reach and support folks regardless of their income level. And during our WPV Cares program, the special program we ran during the pandemic, we got as high as 230, 240 clients and 300 plus volunteers. So we were an operation of over 500 people. And we didn't want to have to turn away seniors who couldn't afford to pay. So we now offer a low income program. It is based on their ability to pay. We actually did receive funds to help support and sponsor those seniors. And this is another reason why we wanted to make sure that we did pick up some clients in the Inglewood area, and a few in Hawthorne. So we didn't want to have to tell them that we can't continue to support them. The other thing, if you think back during the pandemic, there was a lot of the Black Lives Matter, the George Floyd incident, and the village movement. It recognizes that we need to diversify. And when I say that, I'm talking about from a socioeconomic standpoint as well. And given where our office is in Westchester and the areas that we serve, Inglewood is right there. And we want to make sure that we can reach the folks within our area that really need our help. Olivia, I wanted to let you know that we would love to connect with you. And then let me just see if there was anything else, but this is the big change to our program, is that our fees have reduced significantly, that we have the low income program, and that we are expanding into a couple communities. So with that.
Wow, thank you, Carol. That you give new meaning to the word pivot when you.
Oh yes, that is exactly what we did. We did it within a week. It was amazing. We just got an outpouring of support, and so we were fortunate. So
that yeah, that's wonderful. So thank you. And I must say, having had the privilege of serving on the board of both the PV Village and the South Bay Village, they have also done an amazing amount of pivoting. And so we hope to have them share either today a little bit more, or just even have their own opportunity in the future. But this is very exciting that you're expanding, and we do usually have a rep here from Inglewood. I don't see him, but hopefully you've made some connections with their city, or otherwise we can help you with that.
We have actually, and hopefully Marcia will pop her face up in a second.
Oh yeah, let's see Marcia.
She actually does. She happens, it just coincidentally, she happens to live in that area. So.
Oh, that's wonderful. Okay, so you have a good connection there too. I think it's Charles, isn't it? Ronson Charles attends our meetings here from Inglewood. But in any case, let me see if anyone else.
Yeah, and I just, Harriet Chase and the League of Women Voters have been very supportive and have helped us make some connections too.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Yes. Okay. Any other questions for Carol?
I have a question.
Yes.
Hi, thank you, Carol. That was a very comprehensive presentation. So I wanted to ask you, is there an income component to this? Does someone have to be at a certain income level to qualify?
Yeah, so we do ask for proof. So like, for example, if they're on Medi-Cal and they can show us their Medi-Cal card, that is one way. There's a couple other ways. But it's very similar to other organizations in terms of looking at a sliding scale. But we will talk with the individual. We will work with them to determine what the best fee would be for them given their financial situation.
So you don't exclude people based on income one way or the other?
No.
It's just a question of how much you ask them to pay.
Correct.
Based on their income.
Correct.
And how is this program funded?
Through grants and donations.
Have you gotten some big foundation grants as a result of your pivoting to this new approach?
Yes, we were able to do that. And then we also, the end of last year, we did a big fundraising campaign on Giving Tuesday, which yielded a pot of money for us to support the low income.
The reason I ask about that is because whenever things are funded by grants, it's always a question of needing to be continually funded. And so if you don't get funded, the program goes away. So I wanted to see to what extent we could expect this program to stay around in the future.
Well, that is our goal. I know Marcia has some really exciting ideas around how that's going to continue to be sustained. So, and I don't know if she's available to, where is she? Is she there?
I'm here.
User? Oh,
Carol, I'm
there she
here.
is. There's Marcia, folks.
Yeah.
So-
Olivia, to answer your question, some of the things we are looking at is not just looking to receive grant funding, but we are also looking to have events and do an intentional outreach to individual donors here in Westchester and surrounding communities. So it's putting together a structure like any other nonprofit would do in how we make those connections to receive funding to support our programs and services so that they are sustainable over time. So all of that will be in place. We have no doubt. When you look at the village model concept, when you look at what is happening in communities, we are finding that foundations, corporations, and individuals are on board with our type of programming. So we feel confident that we can confidently expand into those areas and be able to sustain it.
Wonderful. Well, and I would think that with this diversification, that you might even be able to tap into some ongoing county, state, or federal kinds of support and grants.
Yes.
Mhm.
And I want to mention too, I brought up Village Movement California because it's important for folks to recognize that there is a statewide initiative and there's also a national movement. But Village Movement California also is being very deliberate, and they are going to the state. They're developing relationships with the state. Their hope is to really, at some point in the future, collectively as a group, villages in California are more powerful and can make the case to the state as a group, as opposed to us going to the state individually. So, so there's that aspect, as well as what we try to do at our local level.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And I just want to expand on what I said earlier. There are funding out there available through foundation grants. You just have to do the research to find them. But they're there and they exist to fund older aging programs, senior programs. So you just have to do the work and the research to find them. And you will find, to be able to develop the partnerships with them. They're there.
And, I have to tell you, ironically, back, when we had the $600, $700 annual fee, I remember applying for a grant and we actually got denied because we weren't supporting enough low-income seniors. So, like Marcia says, part of it is finding the right grants. Anyway.
Yeah, that definitely would be a barrier, I would think. Yeah. Okay. Any other questions from either Carol or Marcia?
Looks like there's Laura. Hi, Laura. Good to see you.
Nice to see you too.
Congratulations on your new role.
Well, thank you. Yeah, I'm I'm the incoming executive director of the Palos Verdes Village, Palos Verdes Peninsula Village.
Oh,
Marianne is still here with us for another month. So, and she's on this call as well. It's amazing to hear how you've grown. I am so impressed with all of your hard work. I do have a question. Now that you've transitioned back to the membership fee, I know you're still offering a sliding fee scale, but how many members do you currently have now?
So we're at around, and the other thing I just want to share, at WPV, we consider both our clients that we serve, so the seniors we serve, and our volunteers as members of the organization, because we're all one village. So we're at around 250. We're at about 90 seniors that we're helping, and 150 or plus volunteers. So we're a little over 200.
Oh, that's great. And then do you offer a different program? I noticed that you serve many different communities throughout the South Bay, as well as the west side of LA. Do you have different in-person events in those different communities, or is everything still virtual at this point?
We've just started to do in person. So we're doing both in person and virtual. And right now we tell everyone about everything that's going on. So we haven't actually segmented at this point, not yet.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Well, and I suppose the advantage of the virtual is that people from all over your territory can
Right.
participate.
Correct.
Yeah.
And right now it's still pretty close. You know, we're talking about 4 to 5 miles. You know, it's not a huge distance you have to drive. Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Okay, any other hands? I'm not seeing. Baz?
Good morning. So my name is Baz Devlier. I am the Human Services Program Manager for the City of Inglewood. So I'm happy to connect with you after this meeting, Carol.
Okay, awesome. We can get your information. That'd be great. Thank you.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Baz, for speaking up. Good to have you here. Anyone else? Okay, well, thanks so much, Carol and Marcia. We just are delighted to, see the way that you all have transitioned to meet the needs of an expanding community. So good luck with that, and keep us posted.
Thank you.
Okay, and so we will move on, and I'll check in with Ronson. Do we have our senior care group here?
No, unfortunately, I can't get a hold of the senior care, the 24/7 senior care group. I was hoping they would come on because they are actually offering shared housing situations for seniors on fixed income. So they currently have locations in Inglewood and Hawthorne. So they can offer beds at around $700 to $800 a month, which is great for someone on Social Security, fixed income, like around $1,100 or $1,200 a month. So it's actually a great opportunity, and they're looking to expand in the South Bay. So I was just hoping they would come on and kind of share what they're doing in our area. I know Pat has already reached out to them for some of their seniors. So yeah, it's a great opportunity to find shared housing opportunities for our seniors. They also provide in-home services as well through IHSS for the people that are staying in their locations. So yeah, it's a wonderful program. If you're interested to know more information, I'll try to get them on, or I can try to connect you with that organization.
Well, now, are they an independent nonprofit, or what is their status?
Yes, they're an independent nonprofit, and they're based out of Orange County, and so they're actually just now kind of moving more north, and so that's why they were interested in our area.
And whereabouts in Orange County? Do you know? Do they have like an office, or is it kind of a?
Yeah, I think they're all over. I want to say they're headquartered out of Irvine, and that's kind of where I met the gentleman. So they're based out of there.
Okay. Well, okay. So keep us posted, and maybe we can, get some more information on that, because, yeah, $700 to $800 for this would be like a room in someone's house kind of thing.
Yeah, what they do is they take over houses, like 4 or 5 bedroom houses, and they rent out each of the bedrooms. That's kind of what they do.
Yeah, because as all of us know who work with seniors, those who are on fixed incomes, $700 to $800 makes it possible for them to meet that kind of a monthly payment. So that would be great. Okay, let's see. Do we have anybody from legislative offices? Bronson, do you know?
I don't see anyone from any of the offices.
I don't see Janet Turner from. Usually she's here from Ted Lieu's office. I don't see her today. Well, okay, if anyone comes on, just let us know, and maybe we'll move on to Jackie giving us an update on the Council of Governments. Are you available, Jackie, to do that?
I'm here.
Good.
It's we're extremely busy, and yet it's a lot of planning. We're doing a lot of planning and things for our programs. On the homeless side, Ronson can talk about that. But I wanted to mention that we're very, very involved in doing a grant application to look at a needs assessment of all fiber broadband in the South Bay and to enhance our broadband network and to try to address some of the areas that are underserved and unserved. And so if we can get that money, we'll be able to pinpoint places where we want to do extra work. We also have been working for a long time on trying to find funding for neighborhood centers where we would be able to put in high-powered broadband services and have people there that would help people know how to use them. So not just to have it in your home, but to really understand how to use it. We also, our legislation for the housing trust is going through the legislature, which will form the housing trust. But at this point, we have no funding to actually implement the housing trust. And so as we get through the legislature, we will work on other avenues. We are requesting, we just sent out this week a letter to our legislators saying that if there is a budget cleanup bill, which we hear there will be, we would like them to put some money in there for our housing trust and for other programs that we've identified. And so I'm not very optimistic about that, but we are still trying to get some state legislative program funding.
Can you explain a little bit for those who might not know what the housing trust will be all about?
Housing trust will help cities build affordable housing. We will not, the housing trust idea, the idea of the housing trust is that it will not fund anything that is not an approved city project. So we're not going to go around and find things that cities don't want. But if a city has approved a project, and if, for example, there's a 20-unit project with 3 affordable units, the housing trust can help with the funding of those affordable units. And so what we've done is we've done it sort of backwards. We've created legislation to create the housing trust, but we don't exactly know how many cities are interested in participating. Everybody's interested in having that option, but we will have to start forming it once the legislation passes. And then there's a question of staffing and the budget and the voting powers and who sits on the board and those kinds of things. It's based on San Gabriel Valley. San Gabriel Valley's housing trust has its own staff, its own joint powers authority, but the staffing is all done and overseen by the Council of Governments. So that's why we're still very involved, because we would be the ones that would form it and possibly be the administrative agency.
And so now each city would contribute a certain amount to a fund for that?
That hasn't been decided. The idea in San Gabriel Valley, each city does contribute, but none of that's been decided yet. And of course, if we don't get any money, the only way to form this is going to be to ask cities for some kind of a contribution. So those are next steps, and we'll see if we can make this last ditch effort in the legislature, and we'll see what happens. We're doing, I think this is interesting, we're doing 4 studies, or we're doing 4 projects, I should say, with SCAG, Southern California Association of Governments, to promote housing. And our studies are, one is already done. We did an application for cities that they have to do, if you apply for an application to build and your home has historical impact, I guess, there's a special application, and we did that for cities and we got it legally approved. And so that project is over. We've done that. The second project we're doing has to do with accessory dwelling units. And the state is allowing cities to build, or requiring cities to build accessory dwelling units. And we're doing a study to find out if they really are affordable, and are they serving the purpose that we all think they are, and how do we make them more affordable, and where are the roadblocks on ADUs, and how are they really working? We know that in some areas people are using them for exercise rooms and other things, so we want to get documentation on that. That study's ongoing. We also have another study which is just starting on commercial redevelopment, looking at some of the strip commercial and other areas where commercial isn't doing very well, to see if those areas are possibilities for housing and affordable housing. And then the last one, which might be of interest to all of you, is we're doing a housing education forum. And it's primarily for the city family. It's for planning commissioners and elected officials and others. But I think interested community members, if we have space, we would love to have you join us. And what we're going to be doing is 10 sessions on housing in California. What is the regional housing needs assessment? What is, what are the mandates? What do cities have to go through? What does it require for a developer when he says, I can't build that project because it doesn't pencil out for me? What does that mean? And so we're going to have this forum, and we're right now in the process of developing the curriculum. We're going to be able to, we have enough funding to get some experts to come in and talk to us. So you'll hear more about that. And then I told you we're very busy. We're working very hard on our local travel network. We're very excited. We have a consultant now who is working on branding it so that when you drive through the South Bay on one of our designated streets, there will be a signage that's uniform throughout the South Bay. We're forming a committee of city officials to help us select the branding so that we can then start with being able to implement the project with wayfinding signs throughout the South Bay. So those are some of the things. I know I'm probably missing stuff because we are extremely busy, but
Well, can I mention, we do have some new people today. Could you give a little brief overview of what the local travel network is?
Sure. Thank you very much. Okay. In the South Bay, we've looked at our trips for years, and there's 70% of our trips are 3 miles or less. We also don't have a lot of robust transit. So we have developed this network, which is for slow speed, zero emission vehicles. We're talking about bicycles, tricycles, neighborhood electric vehicles, segways, anything that is 25 miles or less, pretty much. And what we're going to be doing is we're not taking any lanes away from streets, but we're taking 25-mile-an-hour streets that currently exist, and we're going to have them share with the automobile. There will be signs up so the automobile will know that if they want to drive on that street, there will be more slow speed vehicles on the street. And so the amount, it's a system of charos. Charos, those shared signs you see on the street. The idea is that if we can create safe paths for people to ride their bike, for example, or their neighborhood electric vehicle around the South Bay, they don't have to use a polluting car that goes on our major arterials. So it will free congestion up on the major arterials. It will use our other smaller streets more effectively and efficiently. And it's a very fun way to get around. For seniors, we found that I always call the neighborhood electric vehicle a first and last ride, because it's great for high school kids that want to get to school and you don't want them to get on the freeway. And it's great for seniors who just want a car, a less expensive car that's zero polluting to get around the South Bay. And our local travel network will tell you the safe streets to do that. And one of the other things we're doing is to go from city to city, you probably have to cross an arterial, which is legal. You can't ride on an arterial, but we can cross it. And we are identifying all of the signalized intersections, all of the safe places to do that. So we're creating a safe, fun network that is zero emission to get around the South Bay. And we're hoping, and this is the statistic I love, there's about 286,000 second, third, and fourth vehicles in people's houses. And we're hoping that people will get rid of at least one or more of those extra vehicles and use one of these fun ways of getting around, which will help the environment and help congestion in the South Bay.
And I think that's so exciting for seniors and just being able to get around and stay mobile, because in Southern California, especially throughout California even, without the handy dandy metros that you have like in Boston and so forth, this is a great alternative where people can run themselves to the grocery store, the doctor, or pick up a prescription. They can do all of these things for themselves if they can have one of these little, vehicles that are safe and lower speed. So I think it's a wonderful idea.
We're also hoping for trikes. If we have a network, we're hoping that manufacturers will come in with more innovative ways of getting around. And I think trikes would be fun for seniors. And I also noticed that places like Peninsula Center is going to have a Pedigo store, which is an electric bike store. So these things are coming. And I don't know if last thing I'll say, and then I know there's a hand up, is that there is state legislation to create a rebate for buying electric bikes. We have no idea when it's going to be instituted, but when that happens, there will be more of them around. And so we really want to have a network where it's safe to ride.
Yeah, great. Any questions?
We have two hands up, I see. Therese?
Hi, Jackie. Just a question around, I mean, we're excited. I'm with League of Women Voters, and we're excited about this opportunity to have, you know, more non-emission producing vehicles on the road. But there's also the trend with cars that a lot of them have a much higher kind of viewpoint. And I'm wondering, like, when you talk about safe, how can you protect a lot of these vehicles from cars? Because I think that at least that's one reason why I'm not doing it, is because a lot of drivers of cars are not, don't give up their space very easily.
Right. Well, what we're trying to do, you know, to have dedicated bike lanes is a lovely dream, but that takes roadways away and it's very controversial. What we're trying to do is create a signed safe network where if cars go on those streets, they will be very cautious because they will know there are slow speed vehicles on the street. And then the number of vehicles, you know, the bikes will gravitate to them, neighborhood electric vehicles will gravitate to them. And so just the way that, you know, it's sort of dividing this traffic by speed and creating that, and our signage will hopefully make it safe. We did have a pilot project about 6 years ago with neighborhood electric vehicles. And we put a sign on the back of the vehicle that said, this is a slow speed vehicle. And people were very respectful of that. So we're hoping that the signage will help. Harriet?
Oh, hi. I have a question about that. Well, let me think. Well, I lost my train of thought. There are let me go to my other question. Will the COG be looking for a facilitator to work with the AARP age-friendly cities?
You're not talking about on this, you're talking about just age-friendly cities?
Yeah, I just went, yes.
Ronson, I don't know where we are on age-friendly cities. Do you know?
Yes, so what we're looking to do, you know, we've been getting inquiries from cities looking to do more on that, but unfortunately, we don't have a funded position to work to dedicate for that program. And we'd love to be in a position where we can like dedicate, you know, a time to help cities with the age-friendly cities initiative. So what we're looking to do right now is Lori and I, and we want to ask for your help too, is to help us find grants that will allow us to add a headcount at the COG so that we can then have a more formal program where we're helping cities with these initiatives. So that's the plan, is to do that.
Thank you. Jackie, the other question I had about the slower vehicles is, how can we know in advance if it's going to affect us? Like, I'm on Valley Drive, and I know it's really frustrating if you have the car and then there's the bicycle, and it's a narrow, I want to know if it's coming through that street. It's a narrow street and there are cars parked on one side, and I just can't imagine that bicycles have to be aware of car doors opening, and so I was wondering how do we know in advance? Do we have any say in advance or anything about which streets are being used?
What we did is we worked, we actually identified streets ourselves. Excuse me, and I had a staff person rode all of the streets with a bicycle. And that, I think those streets are actually up on our website, but they're tentative. And now what we're doing is we're working with city staff to say, we identified these streets. What do you think? Where you know your city better than we do. So we're in what we're calling route refinement right now. And then those cities I don't, I mean, they'll probably be bringing the issue to their city council, but we don't have, at this point, I think if you look at our website, you might get the information you need. Or if you don't, let me know and I'll try to help you figure out where they are in your area.
Yeah, I don't think Valley is on the local travel network. I could be mistaken.
Yeah.
But like, so like streets like Second Street in Manhattan Beach, that is flagged or to read on. So they're not like the main streets that you would consider like Aviation or Artesia, because those are just, there's too many fast moving vehicles. So it's more of these secondary streets that the travel network has. And I just want to add that my wife and I just bought 2 e-bikes, and it's been life changing. It's just been such a wonderful experience. And so highly encourage it.
That's great.
Okay, any other questions? All righty, well, so Bronson, why don't you, you have a couple of items you wanted to share, and then, you know, maybe coordinate our round robin for members to give a little update and so forth. Would you do that?
Yeah, let's do that. Why don't we do the round robin first and give some of our members a chance to speak, if anyone has any updates. Go ahead and either raise your hand or just take yourself off mute.
And don't be shy.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hello. I'm Isabel Rodriguez from Hermosa Beach. And I just wanted to share that our green belt, if you're familiar with our green belt that goes all the way from Manhattan Beach all the way through to Redondo, we are now going to be changing the green belt from chips to something that will make it more accessible to people with disabilities. And we've also been planting a lot of California native plants along the greenbelt in Hermosa.
Oh,
so, wanted to share that with you.
Thank you.
Isabel, I had a question on that. Is the greenbelt accessible for bikes? I wasn't sure.
No, we don't pump bikes on the greenbelt.
Okay, so it's just
much.
pedestrian traffic only.
Exactly, but what with the chips, it was very difficult for people who have mobility problems, you know, who are walking with canes, wheelchairs, even young families with strollers. The chips made it very difficult to go through the green belt. So hopefully with maybe adding DG will make it a lot easier for people with disabilities and are challenged in walking.
Great, thanks, Isabella. Just on that note, since we're talking about Hermosa, the Hermosa Beach Homeless Court opened up last week, and it was in the Daily Breeze yesterday. And so congratulations to the city on bringing that wonderful program to their city and helping their homelessness residents that are going through some, you know, some criminal justice issues. And so we're hopeful that that program can be just as successful as it has been in Redondo Beach.
Perfect. Great. Oh, I also want to just kind of go back to the bicycle issue. I know that a lot of seniors, because they do a lot of walking, maybe the teenagers with these bicycles need an education along with their parents, because they seem to not be following the rules, and it can be a very dangerous situation if parents and the children are not educated as to what's going to happen in the future and how they need to be more respectful of people walking.
And we will have education on the local travel network too.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. I think that's real important, particularly for the teenagers, because around here it's become, you know, it's summertime, they're not in school, and, you know, they travel in packs and they just seem to zoom by everyone and everything. And that's really unsafe.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Okay, we'll have
Britt?
a good summer, everybody.
Thank you.
Okay, I see someone with their hand up. Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, this is Jess Davis. I'm the Executive Director of South Bay Village. And when this COVID first started, one of my board members, Joan Day, said, you know what, because we have a lot of older seniors, we need to make appointments for the seniors to get their COVID vaccine. And then after we did that, we had an appointment for them, then the volunteers would pick up the senior and take them to that appointment and the subsequent appointments after that. You know, the second vaccine, the boosters, etc. I just thought it was a great idea for our seniors, but never did I think our seniors would be so excited that somebody cared enough to do that for them, because just like all the other villages, a lot of seniors live alone and have no one to do that for them.
Yeah.
So it was a great idea. Now I have to come up with some great other ideas too.
Well, and it really, you know, you're speaking of that reminds us how hard it was initially to access those vaccine appointments and, you know, having to go online and all of that. And as you say, for some of our older seniors, it was really almost impossible. So that was a great.
Yeah, we had a whole plan and the volunteers would be on the phone 8, 10, 12 hours a day getting a vaccine appointment. But we were very specific with the seniors and said, look, if you make this appointment, you cannot change it because there's so much going on that, you know, and it worked out perfectly. So that was cool.
Yeah, great. Thank you.
All right, anyone else? Marianne?
Hi, I'm Marianne Probst. I'm the outgoing executive director for the Palos Verdes Peninsula Village. I'll be here for another couple weeks, 3 weeks before Laura Diepenbrock becomes our executive director, and I'm very, very excited for that. I wanted to mention the PVP Village is in our 6th year of operation. We serve the Palos Verdes Peninsula Village and surrounding neighborhoods. We have a handful of people right into San Pedro, right into Torrance, and right into South Redondo. We have about 115 now paying members that are all looking for something different out of their village experience. Most of them are looking to fight the shrinking community they see as they grow older. They want more friends, they want more connections, and they want more support. They want to have peace of mind that there's a village there for them. We have done everything from working with one of our members to become a person who shares her home through the Silver Nest app. She couldn't do that without one of our volunteers helping her. We have members who are looking just for minor handyman help. That's a big volunteer support. We help our members access PV Transit. We help them determine that with their Kaiser benefits, what they get that they didn't know they got. And our members range in age from early 70s, I would say, all the way to our 2 members that are over 100. We do charge a fee of $675 and $975 for a couple. We have not changed our fees since we started. However, we do have a dues subsidy plan. So if anybody tells us they can't afford that, we do subsidize their dues at either half the dues or down to about $100 for the year. I think villages are so important. I have seen with COVID that coming out of COVID, older adults are recognizing how isolated and lonely they got. And that is a big determinant of future health. I really firmly believe the villages extend people's health and longevity. And while we're all different, we all have that commonality in place. And just lastly, I want to say that Our village in particular, we have a lot of children call because the children in PV, some of our members are very isolated because the kids can't afford to live in the South Bay. They don't live anywhere around them. The kids will often call about their parents, but with our village, the member needs to be able to access services themselves. We don't have their children do it for them, if that makes sense. Because we know that if we have a member join that is not able to join on their own, they can't figure it out, then we're probably not able to service them. However, we do have members that have been with us for 5-6 years and are now towards the end of their life. And we do, work with their families and continue to support them. So,
Marianne, you and I have worked closely about villages over the years. And I'll be the first one to say, I do not want you to go, okay? No go, away. But I do want to add what you said, because especially during COVID and then we were coming out of COVID, we would talk to the members and say, do you want to go grocery shopping? Oh, okay. These seniors, and my seniors are older than yours. These seniors, so they could go grocery shopping because they've been stuck in the house for so long. It's just amazing, just amazing. I think what villages do for people is incredible.
Kudos to both of you. Thank you. Anyone else? Tell us what you're doing. Give us a little background on your organization. Now's your opportunity to shine.
I think we have Rosalie and then Patty. Rosalie?
Good morning. I just wanted to give an update. I am the interim acting manager for Beach Cities Health District's Community Services Department. We've been around for a long time and worked in collaboration with a lot of the agencies that are on here. I just want to remind people we are a free care management service for residents of the beach cities that are 60 and older, or 18 to 59 and disabled. We offer care management services. We offer volunteer programs that go along with those care management services, including errand volunteers, conversation companions, support calls. And then also we offer some subsidy programs for in-home care, and incontinence supplies and ERS or Lifeline type buttons. We have just finished our last fiscal year as of June 30th, and we're excited to get to our new fiscal year. There's lots of changes here. I'm sure people have heard about the Beach Cities campus renovations and changes that are coming in the near future, hopefully. And just that we're looking forward to another year of growth. We've continued to have more and more unduplicated clients, particularly since COVID. We have a good, excellent group of care managers that go out and do an intake assessment once somebody has been referred to us, and they can be referred to us just by calling our general line for Beach Cities Health District. So I just wanted to put that information out there. I'm excited to be in this position until Emily Brosius returns from her maternity leave. She's had a beautiful little bouncing baby boy. And so, yeah, I look forward to participating more in these sort of outward involved community meetings. I've been a care manager, LCSW care manager here for about 4.5 years. So very, very familiar with our community services program and our offerings.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thanks for the update.
And then I think we have Patty who raised her hand next, and then we'll go to Jacqueline after that.
Hi, my name is Patty Goldenson. I'm from the city of Torrance. I'm the new manager of senior services. We have opened our second senior center, and we're working on next month opening our third. We'll get them all open and up and running. doing a lot of different programs. We are attached to Focal Point, who is an incredible program. If you're not familiar with it, I suggest that you get a hold of B, because they're an amazing program. And I know this personally because when my mom was dying, they saved my life, basically. They really helped us out, and it was life-changing. So if your people need something like that for help, I would highly suggest that. But I really am enjoying seniors. I did 25 years in youth sports, so it's a big change, and I'm learning a lot. And because of groups like you guys, I'm learning. So thank you very much.
So is the Bartlett Center one of the ones that is most fully open at this point?
Yeah, it's open. We have our lunch program running and all our arts and crafts programs and some exercise programs.
Okay, thank you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Okay, Jacqueline.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jacqueline. I'm one of the adult services librarians here at Palos Verdes Library District. And I just wanted to alert everyone to a program we're having with our own Lori Jacobs here on August 13th. It's a home sharing talk. Do you mind if I share my screen so I can show you all the flyer?
Yeah, go ahead.
So this is what we're having on August 13th here at the Peninsula Center Library. It's free, it's on a drop-in basis. Y'all are welcome to come in to learn more about home sharing. And like I said, Lori Jacobs is going to be conducting that program that day.
Lori is also on NPR, if you're interested in her. She was on All Things Considered talking about the home sharing program with Silvernest. I think that was broadcasted nationwide. So yeah, so Lori is like the expert on Silvernest and home sharing. So I encourage all you to attend and hear what she has to say.
Yes, and if you all, if you all would like more information about it, you're welcome to call me or to email me. I'll throw my information in the chat.
And Jacqueline, we've posted it on our website and it'll go out with the meeting minutes. So thank you very much. And it's possible that I'm going to have the homeowner and the housemate from a match we did also show up to share. I'm working on it.
Excellent. We'd love that.
Yeah. So, and just so you know, this is my 3rd month of home sharing. This is my home sharing room in the background. You can't really see it, but it's purple. It came that way and I'm very happy with that. So, so far it's going great and I'm journaling the whole experience. So
nice.
I appreciate the opportunity to share in person because it's one of those programs I think talking with people in person, it will have a much better impact. So we really appreciate you asking us to do this. Thanks.
We're very excited to have you. We're really looking forward to it.
That is so great. Well, can we put the NPR segment on the website too, Lori? Any way of getting it?
I guess we can.
There's a good picture of her room, actually.
Yeah, they had a digital version in addition to the radio program. So yeah, Hermosa Beach, they found it and put it up, and we're sharing it. So yes, I will upload and include that in the minutes.
Well, good. We'll make you a star.
If it means more people get an opportunity to home share, I'll do whatever it takes.
And isn't that the truth? We just really need people who are willing to open their homes at this point, right? I mean, we've got, people that need homes, but it would be wonderful to put people more at ease about this opportunity and, having someone come into their home. Great, thank you. Anyone else, Ronson?
Yeah, so we have Rosa and then Christina.
I am the Community Services Supervisor for the City of Rolling Hills Estates. And we're excited that we finished up another round of our senior care packages. We were able to get 80 out to seniors in the community this time. And we're also excited that our perimeter pathway project at Ernie Hallett Park is moving along. We just completed a community survey for our outdoor fitness equipment, keeping seniors in mind with some adaptive equipment options. And we got some really great feedback and are thankful to the nonprofit organizations that helped us spread the word about the survey. So just wanted to share that. Thank you.
Well, wonderful. Rosa's from my city. She's relatively new to our staff and doing a fabulous job. So thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Great, we got Christina.
Hello, everybody. I'm Christina Theobald with the City of Gardena Senior Bureau. I'm the program manager here. I just wanted to update you guys all on what we're doing. We've got our in-person dining resumed at 3 of our meal sites, 2 in Gardena and 1 in Lawndale. We have begun our excursion program, our Gardena on the Go excursion program, taking a group of seniors to a different place monthly. Last month we went to a Dodger game. Next month we are going to the original farmers market at the Grove. We're also doing our technology help classes twice a month. We have a monthly dinner, which is actually this Thursday. It's themed, it's Christmas in July, and we're making it intergenerational by having our day camp kids come and perform. They're going to sing some Christmas carols for the seniors. Everyone's really excited to break out all of their Christmas sweaters and come wear those in July. We're also prepping for our big event in November, which is our senior health fair in partnership with South Bay Family Healthcare. And then we're also planning a casino night fundraiser in the mid-November, either the 18th or the 19th, that all the money, the proceeds for that go back to our senior programs. So we've got a lot going on, but we're really excited that we're in the place we're at with COVID, and hopefully things don't get worse so that we can continue offering all of these services to our community. Thank you.
Well, Christina, you mentioned Lawndale. So do you do some cooperative programs, senior programs with the city of Lawndale?
We do, yeah. We have a meal site there at their senior center that is under our LA County grant. And then we also offer our supportive services program, which is the light housekeeping and transportation to Lawndale residents. But it's run out of Gardena.
Uh-huh. Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
I do. The South Bay City Council of Governments is going to host a table at a Carson legislative update and health fair that's on August 23rd at the Carson Community Center. I will upload the flyer. I don't have it right in front of me. And this is being sponsored by Congressmember Nanette Barragan. So I will get more information on that. It's during the day at the community center. And we'll share about senior programs, but we'll also probably share about some of the programs that Jackie talked about and energy efficiency, anything that will help seniors save on their energy bills. So we'll be there.
What are the hours on that?
Okay, I think it's, hold on, it is, I'm just looking it up. I think it's 10 to 2.
10 to 2.
Yes.
And that's at the Civic Center senior place?
Yes, yes, the one where the General Assembly was.
Yeah.
But I'll get the flyer, and when we send the meeting minutes email, we'll have the information attached. Thanks.
Okay, great. All righty. Okay, anybody else? This is your big chance.
I just thought I'd introduce myself. I didn't want to interrupt all the updates, but this is my first time attending this meeting. My name is Lori Ramey, and I'm the Senior Director of Outreach and Street-Based Medicine. I oversee 5 outreach teams that outreach all throughout Service Planning Area 8, all the 23 cities. My team is a little bit different than the PATH team in that I have the multidisciplinary team. So all of my teams have a social worker, a nurse, a substance abuse counselor, and someone with lived experience that are out there doing the outreach. So just thank you for letting me attend your meeting, and I hope to be an active part of it moving forward.
Well, great. Thank you for being here. Now, so are you part of the group that's making the big decision this week about masks?
I am not.
Oh,
Lori's with Mental Health America.
Yeah, so I'm with Mental Health America, but I'm actually funded by Measure H. So all of you are familiar with the Homeless Initiative and Measure H, the strategies for combating homelessness all throughout LA County. So my team is part of that, and we're responsible for the outreach for homeless individuals in all of the 23 cities that comprise Service Planning Area 8.
Okay, and so Mental Health America is a
We are a nonprofit. We are traditionally a mental health agency. In this capacity, I don't only work with folks with mental illness, although you know that many of the folks who are experiencing homelessness also have a substance use issue or mental illness, but many of them do not. So I'm not limited to that, but we can provide services to anyone who is literally experiencing homelessness in our service area.
Okay, that's very good to know. Thank you.
Yeah, Mental Health America, they're the lead agency in the city of Long Beach. And so it's great that they're up here in the South Bay helping us out. There's this one thing about them that I really love, and on their sites, they have this lady, she runs like a quote unquote bank. She even has the teller set up, and she's helping people with mental illness manage their money. And I think it's just a wonderful thing that she's been doing that for years, right, Lori? Like,
yeah. 20 years, maybe. It's been a long time. We do kind of have our own bank at one of our programs, our integrative service agency. It's located in Long Beach, formerly known as the Village. But are you talking about Tomoko?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's her name.
Yeah. So Tomoko's great. She actually has a whole team that provides services. So in addition to, helping to have a payee or a rep payee for those benefits. They teach them how to budget their money. The whole goal is really to teach people to manage their money so that they don't need a rep payee. But of course, some people need that a little bit longer than others, and we'll address whatever the need is. But yeah, it's a great program. We also have medication management, both on site and in the field. So we have many different programs. We have full service partnership programs that are contracted with DMH. We have the outreach teams like mine. We also have a veterans program. We have a wellness center that's for folks who are further along in their recovery, but still need a little extra support, kind of like what you all are talking about with the villages for seniors. We have that for folks who are recovering from mental illness. And we're looking to expand. We're going to be adding some resiliency services, and we also have a TAY youth, transitional age youth program for young adults. So we kind of have a lot of different services. My piece of that, of course, is outreach, but MHALA has many, many different programs.
Well, so can we refer people directly to you?
You can, just the same as you can with PATH or any of the other outreach teams, by utilizing the lahop.org website. So it's la-hop.org, and you make a referral on the internet, and then that gets assigned. If you know somebody maybe has a physical health need or a mental health need, it would be good to identify that. And it can just be by observation, and it can be actually anywhere in LA County. And the outreach coordinators, I call them like our air traffic controllers, they'll figure out what the right area is, what the right teams are based on what you put in your referral. And a team will get assigned, and the team has to deploy within 72 hours. So they have to go out and look for the person. The more detailed information you can give about, maybe what they're carrying, if they have a cart, what they're wearing, if they're traveling, moving around the different areas that you've seen them in. Sometimes it's like finding a needle in a haystack. So the more information you can give to help us locate people, the better. But yes, that's how we do both.
Thank you so much, Lori. I'm so glad that you were able to be here. I invited her because I know all the things she does out there. And LA Hop, we don't talk as much at this group about homelessness, But you know, if anybody wants to be of help, it's really frustrating. You see somebody out on the street and you're like, what can I do? Well, this is what you can do is you can go to the la-hop.org portal, enter all the information Lori talked about. It triggers the outreach team. And if you can also include what time of day you're seeing them. I've done several LA hops and they can't find them. And because these are transitory, they don't stay necessarily in the same place, but sometimes they're creatures of habit. They're always between 10 and 11 a.m. in front of this bank building or et cetera. And the outreach teams will go out 2 or 3 times to try and find them. So thanks for reminding me about that, Lori. I appreciate it. And again, so glad you're here.
Yeah, and again, there's many seniors out there experiencing homelessness. It's one of the things that, you know, we don't like to talk about, but we do frequently see. So, you know, I loved hearing about some of these resources. We also get calls for people that are not homeless, so we can't serve them, but they definitely are at risk and they're wanting to know where to turn, you know, to prevent becoming homelessness. So I'm happy to be a part of this. Thank you.
So do you consider people homeless if they're living in their cars?
Yes, we do.
And so if we refer someone, do you find often the person just really, like, for example, if they're living in their car, they just don't really want to accept help?
You know, it's a mixed bag. I would say the majority of people are open to support or some type of help, but at that initial contact, sometimes people are afraid. You know, they've been victimized, they've had things stolen from them, they don't know who we are, and, you know, they're a little distrustful. So sometimes it takes multiple attempts in connecting with a person, and we have to sometimes approach very, you know, very passively, just sort of introducing ourselves, making ourselves available, you know, offering things. But it's that continued contact and making people feel safe and really understanding what we're trying to do, that we're not there to hurt them or take advantage of them, that we're truly there to try to assist. I think a lot of people think that people decline services, but it's really, you know, it's more fear. I think, you know, you have to remember so many of the folks out there have been traumatized and victimized that it's hard for them to trust, and they don't know who we are. Can you imagine if a stranger walked up to you and started talking to you, you think, this person for real?
Yeah.
It's such a good question, Britt. It is. And thank you, Lori, for going through that. So I don't recommend anybody approach somebody. You see them in their car, do the LA hop, you know, make sure you're safe. You're not trained. I don't do this. I use LA hop. And it is a matter of building that trust, and it can take quite a while. But truly, don't approach somebody you don't know what the situation is. Use that LA hop, and yeah, it takes quite a while to build that relationship. Thanks again, Lori.
So is that LA and then like a low dash or a hyphen type of thing?
Hyphen, LA hyphen HOP.org.
Yeah,
I'll include it in the minutes too.
Okay, great.
Thank you,
Okay. Thank you for sharing that.
It looks like Jackie has a question or comment.
Yes, thank you. I just wanted to mention, somebody mentioned the mask mandate, and I wanted to just let you know that the chair, our chair, John Cruikshank from Rancho Palos Verdes, has added an item to our agenda for Thursday night for the COG to actually oppose a mandatory mask mandate. And so that if that item has been added to the agenda, there'll be discussion. I think we'll have speakers from the health department who will explain why this might happen. And since you had brought it up, I wanted to let you know it will be on our agenda at which meeting starts 6 o'clock Thursday night, and it is a Zoom meeting.
Great, good, thank you.
Great. I just had a couple of updates. One is just want to share a resource that has popped up recently, which is the California Mortgage Relief Program. So, Lori and I, we get like a phone call a week, sadly, about a senior being evicted or, having some difficulties. And so this is another great program for those who maybe have a home but are falling behind on their payments. due to maybe a pandemic related financial hardship, the state is now giving financial help for those who may be eligible for this. So just wanted to share that. These programs seem to be helping. The last program that they did was the Housing is Key program, which provided rent relief. Here are some stats of the people that they've helped. As you can see, county-wide, there was roughly 242,000 applicants. Of those, 16,644 were from the South Bay. And then from that subset, 5,194 people were facing eviction at the time that they applied. And as you can see, all of our cities were affected. Manhattan Beach had 46 people that were facing eviction. Inglewood, 1,556 at the high end. So no one was immune to, pandemic-related hardships. We're seeing also with high inflation, housing prices continue to go up. We're seeing more and more people falling behind. And so this program was able to pay out 8,864 people in the South Bay. On average, they paid out a little less than $12,000 per person to keep people housed in their apartments. So, so this program seemed to have helped quite a lot of people. And I just wanted to share that. And then also the California Mortgage Relief Program. So we'll also send this out in the links afterwards.
Great, thank you. Well, it looks like our time is about up. So unless we have any last minute announcements of some event coming up in your city that you want to share with you. And thank you, Carol, for participating and our other speakers. And any last words, Lori or Ronson?
Thank you, Britt, for leading another great meeting.
And thanks to all of you for all the great work you're doing at your senior centers and organizations. And we'll look forward to seeing you in September. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Britt. Appreciate it.
Great to see you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you. Thank you, everyone. Bye.